G'day all, Ben here. We're just going to do a little look over silver this week, see where we're at. So let's just jump into the charts. And so just to quickly brush over the US dollar or the DXY as its proxy, I've just brought this up. I pointed this out in the gold video as well, but we spend a lot of time being negatively correlated to the dollar index. So this is the correlation between silver and the dollar index. And you can see we spend a lot of time being negatively correlated, even though we do have these little periods of positive correlation where they're both moving up or both moving down together. I should work out the actual beta on this, but I haven't done so. But we can see here that there's a little bit of more positive correlation starting to creep in here between them. So, if that goes positive, that's all good, because look, the dollar index looks like the US dollar looks like it's well and truly pushing up. So, that sort of thwarts my thinking. But that's cool. I'm a trader. I change my mind all the time. So, we're sort of holding this sort of uptrend that we've been. We've got this little one forming here, but we're just pushing above our pivot point. So we've gone through retracements in terms of this move back, but at the moment the US dollar is staying pretty strong, or at least it's staying strong against the euro and the yen, which is of course keeping the dollar index bid. So what I'm saying is, the correlation is growing, edging towards positive. So right now we don't maybe have as much headwind coming from the US dollar in terms of price rises for the metals, but nonetheless, obviously with gold and also with silver, we did see a pretty nasty finish to the week. So let's just jump into silver and have a look. So here we are. Last week we were just observing this downtrend that sort of took us back into the retracement zone, just a little bit below the breakout. So just a bit of a classic retest of a larger area. And it's quite interestingly, the market smashed into the top of this trend channel and is quite strongly rejected on Friday to finish out the week. So as we come in here, as this provided a bit more clarity, because what we were talking about last week is that the swing, the size of the swings had shrunk right down, right? And we got to this point. But now it looks pretty apparent that this is going to be the next upswing up. So it looks like we've broken, like I said, it wasn't a wedge, but things were just sort of coming to a bit of a resolution. And it looks like we did resolve to the top side. But of course, we have smashed into this trend line that was has held price action relatively well. I mean, it's not 100% clean. There's a little bit of overthrow. You could probably line that up. This one fell a little bit short. But I think it's holding the geometry relatively well. Now coming back this way, I was sort of saying, well, maybe you could go short here. We tried to do the measured move and we failed. We broke away to the top side, obviously. And then we created this little trend channel, which we've since come back and recaptured. But quite interestingly, if we just clone that trend channel, put one on top of the other, it sort of almost gave us a little bit of toppy action here, which just corresponded. We just missed out on being perfect, but you're never perfect. It's pretty close where we came into the top of that trend, and now we've just failed away again, obviously. So where does that leave us? Well, I keep in mind that growing or the shrinking negative correlation between the silver and the US dollar. And then I just look at this and go, well, okay, we are still in a downtrend, but we've sort of broken that near-term structure and we've now had this upside run. So where do we sit? Well, right now we're just on the edge of the 61.8. Okay, so bring this down to an hourly. So that to me would, I would look at this now and think, just short term, I'd be thinking, okay, well, you know what? I'm sort of now preparing myself for this to go up and break this. That's how I'd be looking at this now. I'm wary of the US dollar, but I can see that the correlation is, the negative correlation is breaking down a little bit. So I'm a little bit more confident that I can try this, in the near-term future. That flies a little bit in the face of gold. But gold and silver, even though they are positively correlated, when you look at the correlation between those two, and this is the correlation coefficient between gold and silver, you can see that is just starting to slacken off a little bit as well. So, you do get these runs down where they don't correlate, where one's going up and the other's not following. So I will take them independently, even though, yes, they are linked. I will take them independently, no problem. I mean, even just think about a ratio chart between gold and silver. I mean, you can see the strength of gold is waning to silver. So, just even looking at this, I'm not going to put too much weight into this, but you can just see the trend of which one's more popular, and it's silver. Okay, silver is strengthening against gold. That's what this chart is telling me. And even just looking at this probably didn't make the retracement. Maybe it did. Not quite. You know what I mean? But you get the point, right? This is trending down. Gold is in a downtrend against silver. So, I can take a short in gold and a long in silver. That's not a problem. I just take them as two independent trades. I just trade what I see. So just as I come back here and clean this up, to me, this is just in the zone. This is how I trade. I mean, you can just see as we come back, this is sharp move back down, but as we come back down here, we're just coming in to test all the old resistance. So we want that to become new support and the market to continue on. I don't have a problem with doing that. So once again, to manage this, I mean, you've got to manage it however you want, but what are you going to, I mean, if this is going to be your profit target, at least sort of up to here, which interestingly would take us, as you look at it, back into test this swing, which I think is going to be quite major. That would bring us back into that range. Might even, not quite. So that would probably be your first point of call, but you can see how that kind of lines up with where we are. Where would you stop? I mean, this looks very obvious. I would probably shy away from using that as a stop. Do whatever you want, but I would shy away from using that as a stop. I'd probably be thinking more, we got a little one here. I'd probably be thinking about more splitting the difference. Okay, something like that. That's still 2.35 to 1. That's not too bad. Okay, it's a decent setup. Think of it this way: when you think about risk-reward ratios, when you think about it, anything if you use a minimum of 2 to 1. You've only got to get a 40% win rate to be in front. Okay, if you've got a 40% win rate on a 2 to 1, you've got an edge. Okay, so I'm not saying that this is going to be, necessarily the way that you should play it. You've got to do it how you want it. But I would just say you got to think about it, in terms of your odds and your statistical outcomes in terms of trading this. So you're pushing a little against. Just to finish off, this would be the overview. You're pushing against the trend because we are yet to break this downtrend, okay? We are yet to break it. But right now we're in a position where if this was going to start to break, this is the area that I'm interested in. So I think this is in the spot, right? And that would be the first point of call. Maybe it even goes up maybe it even goes up and gets this high, okay? And you can see where the second target lies in terms of the structure. It would be challenging this. So see how it all goes together? First measured move challenges this. The second target on the measured move challenges this. But the big proviso is, of course, is that this has got to hold. And you don't want it to stop you out because it could still easily... We don't know that it's broken this downtrend. We're just guessing. We're just looking for potential signs. So, this, what I've suggested here, well, I'm not suggesting, very important, okay? I'm just showing that that's what I would do. That's not a suggestion of what you should do. But this is yet to prove that this isn't going to just continue on like this, because it certainly could. I would say, in my opinion, that the safer way to play this would be to wait for that. That once you get that, look for the next one. Okay, look for the next move down. Okay, and that would be your point of call. So once again, that is not a guarantee because it could do that. You could get like that and very easily turn around and do that. That happens all the time. But all you can do is give yourself the best chance. Okay, and I would suggest that this is a safer play than trying to take it on here because you've got no proof here. Okay, you're acting on faith. So you've got to play it however you want to do it, but that is just how I would look at it at this stage. So I think I'll leave it there. So I think that the takeaway here is I'm a bit more bullish on silver. I think it's shown a little bit more than gold, but I'm happy to be long silver and short gold. I've got no problems with doing that. So thanks very much for watching. See you in the next video. Bye for now.